don't wanna blame me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay. And this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Go, go. 280! Pretty quiet, team. Pretty quiet. Jump. Tyson. 357. Hey, box truck. Black. Crunch.
Wentz now on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker. And the return will stop right around the 25. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Check 53's Mike. Watch the screen.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Eagles' 26-yard line.
258. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. It's just me and you. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, right around the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
First down.
But no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
4 yards on the pickup.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Howard. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
3rd and inches.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Let's go.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Exit. No.
Rodgers going to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
It's going to be a long day.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
6 right there. 56. Time to go, night. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Great. 5-9. Hey, wahoo! 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Watch the pass.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
The 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Let's go, G.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Running with Howard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go counter with Howard. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Working from the gun, Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. And we've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 27, Wentz. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
74. Mike 51.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Shotgun now for Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow Incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Wentz. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
We got this. At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
They're not ready for this, man. Inside. Hey, Delta. Y'all play.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
He hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped them at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run with Howard. And an alley to run. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. This pass complete, wins to Ertz, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into something?
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, high 7.
53 is the mic. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
It's coming this way, Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
10-30.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to throw one up for the end zone.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some.
And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. This may be one of the best stretches of defensive football that I've seen. I don't know about you. 5 sacks last week, now 3 here in this affair.
I would agree with that, and I've enjoyed watching the skill that's gone into it. You can see the intelligence behind it as well. He's watched tape, and he's setting people up, but relentless. That's the one word that keeps coming to mind. He does not want to be denied at getting to the quarterback.
And they're not denying it.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180! Come on. 46 down, man, 5-4.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 23 yards on the play.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
You ain't doing nothing today.
On first down, Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
64. 81.
56.
Wentz going to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Second and 11 at the 14-yard line.
Here we go. 280.
Again, it's Howard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 20.
On third down, this is Howard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
A for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 19-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
At the 16-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey! Check! 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 Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Hey, where y'all going?
Throwing now is Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Sunday. This one, Tim.
Watch out, watch out.
Lefty.
Small. No.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Mike 51.
Now Wentz. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Tighten up.
Off the bootleg. Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game.
I'm coming after you. Big ass. Check 99.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Open man is Allison, complete. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
We taking wins home.
Check. Check hot route. Hot. Watch the eye.
Rodgers again now. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 7. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the toss play, Howard. Oh, Howard in trouble, and he can't get away. He's taken down, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
At the Eagles' 48-yard line.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones, and he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Green 18.
Check the out.
Check Mike.
53. Check 53. I'm scared. Switch.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.